Oh, God, help me. My mind is going 100,000 miles per hour, and I have to slow it down to be able to hear the songs of the universe. I have been a visual artist for most of my life and a professional artist blacksmith for the last 25 years. With all this time involved in the arts, you would think I would understand the mysteries of creation. Well, guess what? I don't. Do you? So why do I care if I resolve the mysteries of creation? What does it matter to me? What will it add to my life? Well, I want to experience a direct connection to creation in real time. I want to hear the songs of the universe and to live as a real human being, knowing that I am creating every moment of my life. The Elusive Creator explores human history from the shamans of the Mesolithic period through the doctrines of the Old Testament and into present belief systems of modern-day Western civilization. Why did the Greeks believe in the muse?
There does seem to be two aspects to the creation, and one is the inspiration and the other is the perspiration, what I call the muse and then the craft. On the muse side of it, I definitely feel like a vessel. I feel like there's some sort of thing, a fount, that is pouring into me. All right, that's good. It is a very intimate experience. In fact, my wife has called my muse my other lover, because, and in fact, she's felt jealousy in some of the same ways, that I'm having a relationship, a deep, meaningful relationship that's not my relationship with her, and that I don't want her to be a part. In fact, I want her to take the kids and go outside of the house so that I can be with my lover.
Can genies visit us during the creative act?
Entonces él es el que me arregla, le da los últimos toques a mis pinturas. When I paint and I say, that's so ugly, so I look at it the following day. I usually put it in the window for the light, the sunlight or whatever. I say, oh God, help me. The following day, it's different. It's like a genie has come and fixed it.
Sounds hokey? Well, we're going to explore that one too.
The prayers that I put on and my character and my energy and God's energy goes into this piece, and it holds that energy. And then when someone takes it or sees it, they make that connection to that piece. They make that connection, whether they know it or not, to the divine, to beauty that I've tried to bring into the world. It's intangible and it might sound hokey, and I don't know how these mysteries work, but I do know that people have come to me and said, I feel that.
There seems to be a veil which keeps humankind from fully understanding the creative act.
Pre-biblical thinking is called mythopoeic thinking. And human beings who lived before this monotheistic revolution, before the Israelite revolution, intellectual revolution, could not distinguish deity from nature. They were commingled. The plastic arts would reflect that mythopoeic thinking, that somehow there was a deity in the physical object. Now, you shall have no other gods before me. You shall make no images. I mean, that's one of the major hallmarks of the Ten Commandments. And the whole purpose of biblical law is to put a hedge about human activity.
Newsflash. Newsweek magazine publishes a study which shows that after analyzing almost 300,000 Torrance creativity scores of children and adults, that a significant decrease in creativity has been occurring in the United States since 1990.
I think the problem with, as they talk about the decline of creativity, has to do sort of like what we've done with money. We've gone for technology. We go for cell phones, television, camps for our kids, rather than having free play, drawing, imaginative stuff going on. So it's not surprising that there's been a decline. And I think we sort of have looked at intellectual knowledge, all the facts, knowing all the facts, just like we looked at money. The more facts you know, the richer you are, and it still leaves you poor.
Here we go.
The idea that multitasking, or in our society today that we go, 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 is that kind of taking away from the ability to be creative? Or
multitasking doesn't work. I mean, you know, you do two things poorly or one thing better. I mean, you have to sort of, you're limited resources. But certainly, I think, we need to have downtime. We need to have time that's not organized, where you can take your experiences and sort of detach yourself from what you have to do and see where they take you.
So my quest leads me to those people who are most likely to answer my unresolved questions. What is the source of creation? Is creation accomplished by the individual, or is it a connection with something outside of oneself?
There's a distinction, like that thing where I'm just letting it happen and I'm watching my hands go is only part of it. And again, I'm still figuring it out. I'm still figuring it out because, like to use the language of the ego, I can be in a moment of playing and it feels like God's doing it, and I can go to an ego place and just, you know, wreck it. You know, just completely bring it down. And
absolutely.
Right, it's like a basic idea of, you know, getting in the way of ourselves. But there's also like this feeling like God is involved, and it's like God saying, come on, Kevin, let's do this. Let's you know, I created you to be able to play drums and to have a voice and to have some opinions, and, you know, let's do this together.
I don't know whether it has anything to do with creation or not, or, you know, man thinking he's God, you know, and creating the universe. When you're out doing photographing and setting it up and pre-composing and all that, it's a meditation. I mean, when you're visualizing that, your mind is, like the lens, is focused. And it is focused on what you are seeing. And to me, it's like a meditative state.
Realizing it takes a lot of hard work. Why do we create?
Not only are we creatures living on the earth that can look out through telescopes and see the rest of the galaxy and try and understand how it began, but we are the universe itself. So rather than thinking of there being necessarily a higher being that's above us, not to say that we're a higher being, but we are in a way the universe, and we're the eyes of the universe. So saying, here we are, and suddenly, in the sense of you know, millions and billions of years, we are the universe looking back on itself when we are able to see where we came from that way. And not just necessarily in a scientific sense of saying, well, let's look through the telescope or that microwave radiation telescope and see, you know, the origins of the Big Bang, but also saying, you know, if you look at all the different stories of time, of creation stories and origin stories, those are the same in a way. They're all attempts at trying to see who we are and how we belong in the universe. how we belong on the world that we live in, and what is our place, how do we fit in.